Hey everybody, what's going on? IcyCat here, and it's time for our next operator profile update. This time we're going to take a look at Doc and see how he's changed since the launch of the game. Whether he's playing defense or patching up the team, Doc is a versatile operator, so let's take a closer look next. Doc is a defender on GIGN. Let's take a real quick look at his weapon loadout. He has a choice of 3 primary weapons. The first is the SG-CQB shotgun. It's a middle-of-the-road shotgun and has an interesting feature of being able to equip a foregrip on it for recoil control. He also has a choice of 2 submachine guns, the first of which is the MP5. Of the 2, this one will have the higher damage but the lower ammo capacity. It's also fairly accurate with manageable recoil. His third option will be the P90 submachine gun. This has the lowest damage of all the primary weapons he can choose from, but the ammo capacity is through the roof. Like its real-life counterpart, this gun does not have a select fire capability. It's a pressure-sensitive trigger, so if you want to manage the recoil in this weapon when firing, you're going to have to feather the trigger and keep it to small bursts to maintain any kind of decent accuracy. He has a choice of 2 sidearms. The semi-automatic pistol will do lower damage but have a higher ammo capacity. The revolver, on the other hand, will do more damage, but its much lower ammo capacity and slower reload speed can really leave you stranded if you need it in a pinch. There are some people that do amazingly well with it though, but if you don't have reasonably good accuracy, the semi-automatic pistol may be the way to go. Choice of secondaries will be either the barbed wire or a deployable shield. Both gadgets can be useful. I give a slight edge to the deployable shield, so just a real quick note before we get into Doc's abilities and how to use them. I've done an operator profile on him before, but that was when the game was still in beta just before launch. A lot of things have changed since then. Doc used to be allowed more uses on his gadget. Now that's been brought down. The amount of health he restores was also lower, and now that's been raised up. Some things have definitely changed with this character since I originally did his operator profile, hence the update. You can play Doc one of 2 ways. You can use him as objective defense and support the team, which is really what he's more designed to do. You can use Doc as more of an aggressive roamer since he can revive himself, although that takes his ability away from helping the team. Doc's special ability is the stim pistol. This allows him to heal targets at range from a down but not out status. Normally when any character, including Doc, does a manual revive, they'll restore 50 points of health. But when you use the stim pistol, you'll restore 75 points of health instead. The stim pistol has a decent range, but he only has 3 darts, although in Terrorist Hunt he has an additional 4th one to use. Now when the game first came out, it was 5. They've since reduced this down to 3 for balancing reasons. Doc is also able to revive himself through the use of the stim pistol. When he goes into a down but not out state, you'll automatically have the on-screen prompt to use your ability and revive yourself. He gets the same 75 health restored. Oddly enough, in Terrorist Hunt, he restores a lower amount when he self-revives. If the hostage goes down, you can also quickly revive them with the stim pistol. You'll want to be careful with that. If the enemy team is the one that injured the hostage, go ahead and let him bleed out. They'll take the loss. But if it was a friendly that caused the accident, then this will help you out. Doc is especially useful when he's combined with Rook. Rook's body armor makes targets more likely to enter the down but not out state, and that makes Doc's ability more likely to come into play as a result. As such, I'm going to recommend that Rook and Doc be paired together as often as possible. They will really complement each other's abilities. There's no specific operator that can specifically counter Doc's ability. EMP grenades don't affect the ability to shoot since he's powered by a CO2 canister in the pistol. And even though it's a projectile device, Jaeger's ADS system won't interfere with it if it's crossing the room when you fire it in between them. The darts from his stim pistol will not heal a target that's already been injured unless they're in the down but not out state. Furthermore, you cannot injure a target by firing it at them. If you happen to make physical contact with a target when throwing like a flashbang grenade or something like that, you'll actually cause about 3 hit points of damage just due to the impact of the grenade hitting them. No such damage occurs when hitting a target with a dart. Unless they're down but not out, it does absolutely nothing to them. Now you do need to be careful about your targets. You can just as easily heal an enemy by accident as you can an ally. So be sure to check your target. Any wounded character in a down but not out state will have that little cross with the circle around their head indicating they need to be revived. It shows on your side even if it's an enemy teammate. So it can be easy to mix things up if you're not paying attention or if the 2 targets are right next to one another. Doc is a heavy armored character, so he moves around the map pretty slowly. But his tank-like armor will allow him to take an extra hit or 2, so that's always good. As mentioned before, he has a wide variety of weapon choices with his submachine guns or his shotgun. Doc can be a good roamer or a good objective defender. If you pair up with his deployable shield and put him down into a corner, he can really hold his own and then pop up and heal targets as needed to in a defensive zone. Or if you use him as a roamer, you'll retain that ability to heal yourself if you do go down. When engaging with Doc, it's a good idea to try to keep obstacles between you and whoever you're firing at. And there's a very important reason for this. Because you can heal yourself when you go down, you'll have that chance to get back up again. But if you fall in the middle of an open room, as soon as you stand back up again, you're just going to be immediately dropped, or they'll drop you before you get a chance to revive yourself while you're still down. But falling safely behind a counter or desk or other obstruction like that will allow Doc to do what he needs to do. So if at all possible, try to engage in firefights while you're safely on the other side of objects. Well, that wraps up our updated operator profile for Doc. Coming up soon, we'll have additional updated operator profiles, as well as the remaining map walkthroughs. I've also been getting a lot of questions between the comments here, Facebook, Twitter, and I feel like it's an appropriate time to do a Q&A session with the audience. So I'd like to start collecting some of these questions over the next week or two. I've got a bunch of questions that people have already asked me, but if there's anything you want to know, shoot me a message down below in the comments, or you can send it over to my Facebook or Twitter pages as well. And feel free to ask whatever you want. You can ask about Rainbow Six, you can ask about my time last year working with the dev team. Just understand that there's some things under NDA that I can't answer, but there's other things I can. It can just be about the YouTube channel, or it doesn't even have to be anything about Rainbow Six. This just gives a little bit more opportunity for us to interact with one another more directly. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest news and information for Rainbow Six Siege. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.